Life is good. God is great. First off, I see Mark coming off his fifth Potter of the Month award. I'm just now learning how this works. I also just joined Twitter so I can figure out how to get into these spaces. I'm trying to do some more things to get this content going and get a little bit more information as well, so I can give a little bit more of these opinions. But Mark, look like you shooting for a six-time award. And we got to get to this because I want to know from the community if y'all think this nigga Mark was just capping. First thing is, Mark brought his children. I don't know how many. I think maybe it was just the one kid, maybe it was two, but he brought his kids to work again. This time the kid made a ruckus right from the jump, screaming, hollering. I couldn't believe it. The privileges you gotta have to bring your kid to work is through the roof. Joe had his son up there, but he's the boss. He could do whatever he want to do. But that was wild. So Mark comes in and he immediately needs to babysit, right? So he disappears for a minute. When he comes back, he shoots one of the most egregious shots. I don't even know if it was a shot, but he just comes out the blue talking about he Eskimo brothers with the niggas up on the show. So we had Jeff Teague. I don't remember the rest of the homies from Club 520 podcast. And I do want to say I don't normally watch their show. I think I'm going to start. I usually fuck with Gil's Arena. But I heard that they got real good chemistry. They talk about a lot of different subjects outside of just basketball. And based on the way that they was going on the show today, I think I'm going to go ahead and check them out. So Mark, and I will say another sidebar. I do want to say I respect Mark because he kept that same energy. And I noticed that Mark, he doesn't just shoot at the castmates that he knows. He shoots at the guests that come up there too. If he feels them out and he gets a sense that they with the jokes and he can do that, because he was shooting at them too. I forgot who it was, but they had a nice little back and forth. So Mark just out the blue talking about he Eskimo brothers with Joe. Bruh, I don't know if I believe it. It didn't even look like Joe believed it when he said it. Like Joe, it looked like he had one of them looks like, all right, bro, come on, man. Like, all right, you got it, dog. You got Potter in the month 5 times in a row. Like, you going with 6, claiming the Eskimo brother shit is a little out there. He did say we'll talk later, but I'm gonna need some answers. I'm gonna need to be, I don't need to, but I would like to know if this is gonna be a confirmed type of situation. That's crazy. Out of all the time Mark been up there, now you wanna disclose that you Eskimo brothers with Joe? I don't believe it. The best part of the pod though was when Joe called Zaire after they announced that I guess they was branching off and they about to do a sports show and Zaire is about to be the lead host, lead NFL guy on their new sports show. That was dope and funny at the same time because Mark, well not Mark, but Joe, you know, they homies and Zaire had that show, or at least he tried to get a show off the ground up at the JBN. Didn't work out. I don't know what type of contract he in, but when Joe got off the phone with me, like, shit, I'm gonna have Ian give you a call. That was funny. I don't know how serious it was. Like, it could have been a little bit of truth in there with some contractual obligations, but I think probably for the most part, he's just in good fun, good content. But that was hilarious. Besides the fact that Parks also was kind of MIA, which was a little weird because Parks usually is involved with the sports talk. So to see him gone was a little weird. You know, everybody got different things going on, so I ain't gonna make too much of that, even though I wanted to in the beginning. I really did. But I didn't speak on the pod before this one. Overall, everything has been dope since Joe has been back. Every podcast drop has been dope. Bonus Patreon shows have been dope. The interviews, the main pods, ever since Joe's been back, no complaints. They hitting this shit out the park, in my opinion. And this cast was the perfect cast to have 520 up there. I think that's what it's called, Club 520. But this was the perfect cast to have those guys up there to interact. And I know it's been a while since that core has been together doing a show. I kind of like it. It just seems more organic. And it doesn't even have anything to do with Melissa not being there. It just seems like the comfortability is so high. They could just flow, and they flow a little bit differently than when everybody is there. So that also led me to think about when Joe kind of at the end of the show was talking about Bobbi Althoff, whatever that weird ass white girl name is. I'm not a fan of hers, to be honest with you. I also would not want to see her in any capacity on the couches talking to the rest of the crew. If Joe was serious about having her up there, it would have to be a situation where she's basically just transferring whatever type of show she had to the Joe Budden Network. I don't think that he would sign her to join the rest of the crew and talk about pop culture shit. I just can't see it. Her humor, her dry humor, I don't see her blending in with the cast. Like, too many cultural differences. I understand she's a white girl that is infatuated with what black folks got going on, but to sit on that couch and talk to that collective, I don't see that working out. So, and if she was to come up there, it would just be her own standalone show. That's my opinion. I can't see her joining the couch. I can't. The only person I see joining that couch is Mona. And at this point, the cast, everybody up there at the Joe Budden Podcast, since I made my little complaint video, has kind of made me look at things a little bit differently as far as like moving forward. I don't really see him shaking up the cast that much, especially as much as Joe is talking about how he got everybody locked in. He says the pay ain't gonna change. I don't see him having a situation where everybody's working less but getting paid the same. But if he switches it up enough, there's a lot of things he could do. But the current cast is, I like it. The three people that wasn't there today, Flip, was it three? No, it was just Flip and Mel that wasn't there. But those two could definitely be interchangeable. So if he signed two people, I could see them interchanging those two out and maybe giving Marc an extra day off during the week. But he got some options. I just don't want him to shake up the cast too much. Not too much. But go ahead, sign that little white girl. Let her bring another audience to the network as a whole and have her own little show. But everything been cooking, man. I'm liking what I see, bro. I'm pleasantly enjoying this content they've been putting out lately. And I can't wait to see who they add, because we're going to have a lot to talk about for sure. But it's a J-Man show, man. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back.